A few weeks ago, I bought this horrifically crashed Lamborghini Huracan off Matt Armstrong. But when I went to collect the car from him, we worked out the car had actually been crashed around 7 or 8 years ago, which was why it's such low mileage and why these pictures are of such bad quality, because it's never had an MOT. But it does run.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years it's not started, so the fuel could be terrible.
That feels bad.
It could be terrible, couldn't it?
It smells nice.
Yeah, it does.
You've just brought a Lamborghini Huracan.
But once I got it home, it started to sink in just how bad the damage on this thing was. I started to remove some bits, started to fit some new bits. I even found even more damage to the subframe, massive cracks. I even broke some bits. And also nearly crashed the car for a second time. No, stop. Oh God, it's not gonna stop. Stopped. It's off. Whew. But despite all that, sat here now, it still looks, for some reason, really good. Let's crack on and get on with this rebuild. But I'm off to a shocking start because I'm trying to push this back, and because I don't have a track rod end on this offside rear, the rear wheel's just pointing inwards like that. So, plan B. Yeah, we're picking up the Lamborghini with the JCB. Luckily, it's a massive subframe under there, so I've put a pallet under it. And we're gonna just pick up the rear end and hopefully, yep, lift it up and be able to push it into the workshop. There we go. Yeah, go on, go back, I guess. Just go back, try and get it go that way. We'll push it that way, roll it back, and then push forward. Because the rear end's got no choice but to follow. I just can't push it backwards. I'm going to walk with it because it's got no brakes. And this is my if in doubt stick. Right, go on then. Good old Defender. Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. That's fine, leave it there. So, over the last couple of weeks, I have been super busy trying to find parts for the Huracan. I have managed to only buy used parts so far to try and keep the cost down. So hopefully in there I've got 2 headlights. That should be 1 side skirt. And there should also be just out there, look, an exhaust as well. I haven't actually opened any of these. And also I do have a container full of big old boxes with other body panels that again, I haven't checked, but we will be unboxing everything and maybe test fitting it a little bit later on in this video. But there are a few things we need to do more urgently, and that is completely strip the interior, because Airbag Service UK are going to be coming down to pick it all up, take it away and repair everything. But at the minute, they are so busy, there's just a quite big lead time, so we need to get the process rolling with that. And also we need to get the outer drive shaft CV joint removed from the wheel bearing and then send the drive shaft off to be repaired as well, so then we can get this car so it can actually drive. So those are 2 of the first things we need to do. And in this video, I'm going to give you a full breakdown of costs, including how much I paid for this car from Matt Armstrong. I'm going to tell you exactly what I've spent so far on parts as well, and then you can let me know if it's worth it or if it's just getting out of control. There we go. And now we need to send this off to be fixed. So that's the drive shaft all packaged up and ready to be sent. And there we go, gone. Right, now we can turn our attention onto the interior. I am missing a lot of interior trims. So the first thing I actually want to do is just build back up the interior just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And if I am missing anything, I can obviously note it down and order those parts in so we don't have any nasty surprises when we're putting the whole thing back together. But the first thing I'm going to do is just remove the seats, because I know the seats are there, they're not missing, and they're just going to be in the way trying to build back up the interior. So let's get rid of those first. don't know the best way of getting this out of here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, I think there may be, you know. Come on. Right, let's rest that on there. Just don't want to damage anything. I think we may have cracked it. Oh yeah. Oh, lovely. 2 seats. I am a lot more optimistic about the interior. I've just had a right good clean up and also tried to allocate all the parts that are everywhere, and I think I've pretty much found a full interior. So we have our glove box, which is here, that's fine. We have all our trims, which I have put loosely into position. They are all present and correct. This little bit of trim just goes on the roof there. I've obviously hoovered everywhere, cleaned all the dust off all the dash. It absolutely looks brand new in here as well, I mean, which you would expect because the car's only done 7,000 miles. There's only 2 trims I couldn't find. Don't know where that goes, and I don't know yet where that goes, but I'd rather have trims I don't know where they go instead of trims that I can see that need to go but I don't have. And that trim there goes on the end of the dash. Same with this bit. We have our switch for our boot, which goes in there, and we've also got, I've just laid them out, look, we've got all the trims that go on this side of the center console, and again, this same bit of trimmer, I don't know where it goes yet. And also, how about this? Look, imagine spending 160, 170 grand on a Lamborghini, and it doesn't even come with speakers in the back, yet they give you speaker grills. Like, I mean, I was looking for speakers for ages, like, why are they taking them out? But no, there's no wiring, and there's a bit of foam on the back of this, but there's just no speaker there at all, so that is pretty poor. But otherwise, I'm really happy. And also we've got the steering wheel cowling here as well, which goes over there. So I'm fairly happy that there's a full interior here. So now I can take all these bits back out and start removing the dashboard. Now, as we know, someone's been here before because everything's loose and there's just bolts missing everywhere. Now this dash actually looks quite difficult because it looks like it comes apart in parts. Now I've just managed to remove the A-pillar trim here, and that was difficult enough as it was because it's just so finely wedged in. I guess it doesn't help that my windscreen's all smashed. Now, I may not have mentioned this before, but this car is actually unrecorded. It isn't categorized whatsoever. And this actually happens quite a lot on high performance, high value vehicles. And that is because 9 times out of 10, the owner can afford to take the hit and not claim on their insurance and basically increase their premiums for the next 10 years. But using CarVertical, you can actually find out sometimes if the car has been damaged but not recorded. Now, they're starting to use AI technology to identify this. So if a car's been pictured anywhere online, AI can actually see that they thinks the car's been damaged and then actually record it. And that's regardless of whether it's actually been recorded or marked as written off. Now, I'm going to give you an example on the screen here. So we have a 2015 Golf R here, which is not in a great way. It's got a couple of warnings on it. The first one is for odometer. It may have had the mileage clocked. This is a warning, so you can do your own research, of course. But if you click on photos as well, there seems to be pictures of it for sale, and it's definitely had a crash. But if we scroll down, this car is completely unrecorded and never been categorized. But they are using AI now to look through images of cars when they've been for sale in the past and detect damage. Now, that is a big game changer. The problem is, they've glued all the insulation to the center console. So I had to tear it off to get it out, which is ridiculous. Now I can get to these 2 bolts. Once I removed the passenger airbag, the dash was a lot more free, and there was just a couple more screws at the back and underneath as well. But there's one that I completely missed that I'll show you in a second. But actually, the dash comes off in smaller than most dashes. It's a bit weird. So if you want to check a car that you currently own or one that you're going to buy, make sure you click the link in my description, go use my discount code, I'll put it on the screen there, and go find out the history of your car. Thanks CarVertical for sponsoring today's video. Right, that is the dash now completely removed, and it was just a bit of a faff. I mean, you can just see how busy it is looking, and there's about 1,000 screws, and you don't have to actually undo half of them, but trying to work out which ones you do and don't have to undo is a nightmare. Now, I had a bit of problems, as you can probably see here. Look, I have snapped a small bracket that went on the underside, so the bolt's still in it here. Look, it was the underside of the dashboard that I've just taken out. But you tell me, looking there, look, and then there, how on earth is anyone in the world meant to know that screw is there if they don't know it's there? Like, if you're looking for screws to undo the dashboard, how are you ever going to find that? Look, completely covered up. Just, yeah, stupid. But I will remove it, and I'm going to glue and bond that back on, and that'll be fine. So yeah, that is the dash all out. I've got everything there now ready to be collected. Seat belts, seats, dash, and this driver's airbag too. So that's one problem solved, and now I'm going to actually turn my attention towards the front end, because this is looking quite bare. Now you'll be able to see here, look, I have bought 2 rad packs. Now I said in the last video, a lot of things mechanical wise will carry over from the Audi R8, the Gen 2. The cooling system is one of them. Now I've actually just spent a lot of, like 3 hours looking at parts diagrams for the Lamborghini. And you can see here, like, I've written down everything I think I may need, because that's the other problem. As I've said before as well, I don't like doing things that I haven't stripped, because I just don't know what's missing. So I've been studying diagrams and just trying to work out exactly what I need, crossed bits off that I've realized I don't need, but then there's a lot of stuff that I do. Now, I have worked out that the part numbers here, look, you can see some begin with 4T, others begin with 4S. 4T is specific to Lamborghini. 4S is specific to Audi. So if it's a 4S part number, I can probably go to Audi and get the same part for cheaper. So I've kind of made a note of what's Lamborghini specific and what's come from an Audi R8. Now, all of the cooling system and the aircon system has come from an R8. So that rad pack's from an R8. The one around there is as well. But obviously I can't attach it because I'm missing everything. There's a massive, this arm here, look, this arm here. If I go to the diagram, you'll see it. So this is it there. It also comes down, goes back, goes backwards, and then you've got this supporting bar, this bar here, that bar, that bracket, that all attaches to it, holds on everything down in this corner. But each side is about £1,100, maybe a little bit more actually, just for those brackets. So obviously times that by 2, and yeah, you can see we're getting expensive. So as I say, I have compiled a big list of things that I think I need for the front end, and obviously the bad thing about little brackets and stuff like that is you can't really pick them up secondhand, so I'm gonna have to go to the dealer for those. I have compiled a list. It's come out at about £4,500 plus VAT, so that's what's that, about 5,400 quid. So I'm gonna have to buy all that, but I'm hoping that'll be the majority of the front end, like brackets and stuff wise, done. That includes aircon pipes, coolant pipes, brackets, everything I should basically need to get the front end looking a bit more like a front end. And there's also an additional cooler that goes there. That's Audi specific as well, so that is included in that price. What we have in this box here should be 2 nice headlights. Actually come from a 2020 STO, so they should be fairly new headlights. Now, we do have the headlight switches here. Brilliant. We do. Right, here are the headlight switches there. So I'm going to just plug those in and make sure we do have power to said headlight switches and the headlights work. Look at these bad boys. Now, you may notice, I'll show you in a minute, but they are not all what they seem. Got a dodgy looking Huracan. Oi, oi, look at that. Oh, indicators work a treat. They are bright. See if we can get some DRLs. Oh, here we go. Beautiful. DRL's working, headlights working. happy with that. Now, I did say all is not what it seems with these headlights, because if you can see there, look, there's a nice big crack in the lens. The same with this one. Now, the previous owner told me that the guy who fitted PPF, while he was removing it, he managed to crack the headlights. I don't know how, but anyway, these headlights would normally be about £7,000 each, brand new. However, secondhand, they're around about £3,000 each. So because of the cracks, I've picked them up for £2,000 for the pair. We just need to recase them, put a new cover on them, which you can do for about £1,000. So I just worked out, look, I'll be £3,000 up, I'll just get the headlights, and then I'll worry about putting a new clear lens on them when the car's all ready and done. So for now, I'm happy with that because, as I said, they're like pretty much brand new headlights. So I've made my first major boo-boo, and the offside front wheel here, can we see that nice big gouge on the inside of the rim that goes all the way around my new nice gloss black alloys? And that is because if we look in this gap here, can we see that the caliper is just hitting the inside of the rim. Now, at first I thought I'd got the wrong size alloys and they were too small, but on closer inspection, if we just look through that gap, can we see there's a slight gap between the caliper and the hub? And that is because, obviously with the impact, the caliper has bent back this way, and that is a result of the bolts bending. So I've ordered 2 new bolts for that caliper at £20 each. So they'll be coming tomorrow, so hopefully we can rectify that problem. But for now, I come in this morning and the windscreen's been removed. So I wish they'd done that yesterday, but here we are. Now I'm going to start removing the rear parts of the car, and we have to start with the exhaust because the exhaust has that massive heat shield on, and we can't take the exhaust off without taking the heat shield off, vice versa. It's a pain in the arse. So we need to remove the air boxes, and under the air boxes reveals the exhaust clamps, and these can be a bit of a pain in the arse sometimes, and they're £100 each. So if you cock these up, then you need to buy new ones. So I was really gentle, but again, the bolts were loose, so it just makes me think, was someone been in it before and done some bits? I don't know. Snap. Oh, that wasn't even tight. Which begs the question, has someone been here already before? But luckily the rest of the bolts were nice and tight, so once I'd got them removed, I gave the exhaust a shake to try and relieve the top of the exhaust mount so I didn't break them. There we go. That's what I was trying to go for. I was trying to remove all the bolts and then just wiggle the exhaust to break it free, just so I could gain access to this top one. There you go, saved. There we go. And then once they're removed, I just need to pull this monstrosity off. Now I've got the rear end a little more exposed, and I got my rear track rod end through the post this morning as well. It's literally 3 bolts, so I have just fitted that. Now the rear wheel is stable. The damage doesn't actually look too bad. There is nothing really damaged here at all, which is obviously a good thing. Now on the near side rear, we do have a leg extended bit here that would normally sit like that. That's obviously missing, so we need to look into what we can do to either repair that, or we still don't know if we need a whole new subframe. I've got someone else coming out to fully inspect the chassis and the rear subframe as well. So we'll have an indication in the next video what's going on with that. Unfortunately, the next step for me now is just to bury my head in body diagrams and just try and work out exactly what I need to order for this car. And it's not even as simple as them diagrams I showed you earlier, because there's sub-diagrams, there's diagrams that show some things but don't show others. I'm gonna have to go through every single diagram for this car and just make a check to make sure I have everything that I think I need. And that is gonna take me a long time. So, yeah. Now with the offside front wheel off, we can see a little bit better the gap in between the hub and the caliper. And yeah, I'm 99% sure that is, well, we can just see it's a bent bolt. So, just pop down to Audi to get 2 new bolts at £20 each. So I'm just going to replace these now, and hopefully that's going to stop our caliper rubbing against the wheel and I can actually push it, because that would explain why it was so difficult to push before. So as expected, as I was trying to remove the bolts, it was just going round and round in a big circle, indicating they're very much bent. But we got there and managed to put the 2 new ones on. You can't really even see it. It looks all right. That one was a little more bent. Right, let's see if that's fixed it. Oh, it looks good. Beautiful, look. Bit of a weird noise still going on, but... Oh. I think my drive shaft's knackered, you know? Yeah, my offside front drive shaft's knackered. I don't know if you can see the one in there, but if I just spin it, see it just spins normal? And then look at this one, look. Look. So it's, again, it's doing the same as the other one. Look, it's spinning independently and it's not straight, it's all over the show. So yeah, another drive shaft down. And there we go, look, fixed one problem just to reveal another. Fantastic. Now, has anyone seen this little video I'm gonna put on the screen now? Now that is Jordan from Salvage UK, and he has Liberty walked his Lamborghini Huracan, but as you can see from this picture, he's taken off all his existing body panels to fit the wide body kit. So I naturally have gone, I need all your parts, and that is what is in this container next to me here. So let's check out all these parts I've managed to buy. So big thanks to Jordan from Salvage UK for basically sending them to me. Just inside this container here, look, we have a couple of RS3 seats as well, but look at these boxes. Front bumper there, we're gonna get air, and there's the bonnet in question. It's got Liberty Walk. Luckily, we need it in white, so it doesn't matter anyway, but we still have the original Liberty Walk, massive box that all his body kit parts come in. So we're gonna get all these into the workshop now. And obviously we can't test fit anything because I'm missing every single bracket that holds everything on. But we have a massive box of parts here. And we've also got some carbon parts as well. And we have got, well, most of the body parts. We have the front bumper, 2 wings, near side rear quarter panel, most of the rear bumper. And we've got our bonnet here, complete with the LBWK branding. And also around this side, I've got a random cheeky green side skirt. Now that's a huge chunk of body parts acquired for the Huracan. The only thing we really need now is a near side skirt. There's a gap in between the quarter panel. There's like a random panel that I need there on both sides. The upper part of the bumper where the wing bolts to. And I think that is pretty much it. Now there will be some things, there's 2 vents in the front bumper that we need. There's gonna be various little trims as well on top of that, but that is the majority of body panels now acquired. So with that in mind, now let's talk about cost. Now before I reveal the cost, I want you to put in the comments now how much you think you would pay for this Lamborghini Huracan. Just remember, it is unrecorded, it isn't categorized, and it's only done 7,000 miles. But in the state of this car, bearing in mind the cheapest one on the market at the time of filming this video is 113 grand with 5 times more mileage, how much would you have paid for this car? Let me know. I paid £40,000 for it. All those bumpers that you've just seen, we're gonna just put it body panels. £13,000. Right, I've just skipped ahead and written down everything that I've bought for the car so far. So far we're at £53,000, including the body panels. The rad set was 720 quid. Offside rear side skirt, 450. Near side rear hub set, that was the expensive one because it comes with a ceramic disc caliper and the drive shaft. That was £2,400. Offside rear hub set, £900. Offside front hub set, this is like everything included with the hub so far. That was £255. Although I'm gonna have to repair the drive shaft now. Alloys, 1,800. That was cheap actually. An exhaust, again, pretty cheap, 350 quid. So that is how deep we are at the moment, and we've got a long, long way to go. I forgot the headlights, and I've just bought a door. Both of which are £2,000. So running total, 63,875. And just as about to hit bite now on all those front end parts that we spoke about earlier, I've just found something out massive which could potentially save me a lot of money. But I'm not gonna say anything just yet because I wanna make sure it is all correct, and I'll find out in the next video. And if it is, it's gonna be a game changer. So that is gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. The next video, it is gonna start kicking off because the engine will be coming out and we're gonna be having a look at that rear frame. So as always, guys, thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.